Welcome back to the breakdowns. Today we're covering episode 4. What? This one seems like it has a lot, but does it really? Yes it does. However, I will note, today I'm going to completely skip the recap for this breakdown. I know. You think you'll need a recap beforehand to remind you. However, I'll do this once, and if people don't mind, then I might continue, for future breakdowns. However, when I say recap, I mean half a video worth of writing, details and jokes I force in, as well as bloopers. I will still cover what happens in the episode, it's just it will be, extremely short, less detailed, and only mentions events that happened in the episode that's relevant to the story. This is also in hopes to cover more detail in the breakdown portion of these videos. Anyway, let's begin.
June 29th, 2564. I got a good feeling about today.
After Darius gives us a monologue, we cut to Killian talking to Morbius, asking for the artifact in which he possesses, the Mickey Dex. Shortly, Killian kills him and acquires it. Darius, Shade, and Zero, I guess Zero was already there, return to Wilburn to find Roderick. The doctor called Roderick for further assistance. As they talk about their plan, Caitlin projects his voice into their helmets, passing over a live call from Killian. The villain proposes a deal, Freaky Dex and Baxter for the Mickey Dex. While a fair deal, Darius rolls with his distraction plan and Shade to attack from behind. There, Shade moves out and Darius leads Baxter to where they need to meet. As the deal appears to be going well, Killian however has no intention to go through with the deal. He disarms him and breaks his magnum, and the two proceed to fight. Baxter joins in the two for, a 2v1. However, Darius holds out enough and disables her for the fight. However, by the end, Darius is defeated by Killian and Shade cowers away. Okay, let's move on. So, first things first, Darius' monologue reveals it's June 29th, 2564, a day after episode 3. We meet Morbius, voiced by Moonlight Ninja. I knew about his casting as Morbius, but I had no idea it was for a season 5 episode. Damn! He got to be a named character in the Tableverse before I did. Whatever. He's the owner, or former owner, of the Mickey Dex. Why did he have it? How did Killian know who had it? Was it Caitlin? That creep. We learned later that Killian was planning to go after this first, but couldn't due to some strange circumstance. Was Morbius that strange circumstance? The fact that Killian knew it were to be around here is quite the know-how. But did he know of Morbius? Who knows? Maybe there's a story here, maybe not. Either way, Killian is able to acquire the artifact and is willing to trade it for Baxter in the Freaky Dex. So despite wanting this a lot, he's willing to trade it in for a member and another artifact. We'll get back on that later. Let's continue. Our dynamic duo returns to Wilburn's office, of course, to see Wilburn, but we also see Roderick Holloway. It's the Wilson Waka. Anyway, with the recently acquired information regarding the Diabolical Guild of Villains, the doctor called former acquaintances of Kanto Bite, Roderick Holloway, Dan Blazer Graves, and Flynn. Flint? God, I always is it Flynn or Flint? I think it's Flint. However, with Danny Boy off making movies or whatever, and Flynn not responding. Flint we met back in season 3 by a hologram, but his current whereabouts are unknown. But I reckon he's alive due to Dan thinking he's alive.
Hey, if you see Cassie and Flint, let him know I'm always around.
Wilburn calling him, and Roderick asking if he's coming, so he may be alive. With that said, Wilburn could have called other peeps too. Moving on. They make a plan, in which Roderick suggests a distraction plan or to cut him off during a monologue. He also goes on to say his equipment. However, how does Rodney Boy know this? Well, A, while being the son of Aleister Calloway, a former member of the guild, I think. B, now working along with Obama bin Laden within the UNSC, when to have some, information like that. Or C, due to any past experiences at Kanto Bite. These, as far as I can tell, or think of, are really the only ways he would know such details. Though I think C, past experiences in Kanto Bite, may not actually be, how he knows these things about Killian. Since when Blue held the Kanto, Bite program hostage in October of 2559, and which would also be, finally shut down, and with the Diabolical Guild of Villains, disbanding in July of that year, 3 months before the fall of Kanto Bite, doesn't fit a lot of time for him to know Killian. That, of course, if any of these details or dates are still canon. After a quick note real quick that Killian does in fact say Baxter is new, building off what I said in episode 3 breakdown regarding her role as a rookie. Kalen also cuts or completely loses the connection with Killian at the end of his exciteful talk to Darius, saying that while he was told not to interfere with this trade meeting, he would go back on that, case regarding Darius's role in all of this. Like Darius, we don't actually know what he's talking about. Again, I guess I haven't talked about Kalen that much in these breakdowns, but he's clearly doing something or learning something that's a conspiracy at play, and I believe Season 6, and a spin-off, we'll get into that more. I might do a prediction video or whatever they're called. Moving on.
Then we're finishing this.
Oh, I love perfectly cut off stuff. They arrive and the talks begin. Killian reveals that they're at Dan's fish packing factory, which he didn't know it was. Anyway, here while during the trade-off, Darius shoots Baxter and she exclaims,
"Oh, I need some aloe vera."
Which of course is a reference to Red vs. Blue Season 2, or whenever they also made that joke again.
Oh yeah, people often overlook the alternative methods of care. Like that blue guy that was shot in the foot during the battle. All I did was rub his neck with some aloe vera. He was fine.
In this same scene, we have much to cover. So, first stop, you can see Buck's cat, Meowta, Beckett, Meowza-Angly. Also, it's Meowga, apparently. Meowga? Meowga. Meowga? Meow, 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 if that's how you say it, in the background. Oh, and since we're covering more here, I'll go over Darius' wound on his upper left chest. We can see the damage in which was received by Matt Black back in Heroes and Villains. Baxter gets hurt and Killian is shown to have a third adrenaline level. Cobalt. Well, it's not exactly a level. Listen, the adrenaline system in which, is seen in the Tableverse is a bit iffy. Well, not really. Well, to us fans right now, anyway. How it works has been explained to death by Buck, so I won't go into detail here. Maybe it'll be its own video. For now, I'll just say it can be done independently in levels of anger, I think, and reactions to emotions, such as killing and gaining it after Baxter got hurt. So with this fight, there's not a whole lot to cover, so I'll speed up a bit. One moment, Septic, whatever, however you say his name, appears in the background flying. If you look close enough, he enters and disappears in a flash of light. Teleportation, multiversal, whatever, doesn't really matter because it's just a little joke. Next, Killian does a Helene Harper move known as the Tilt-A-Whirl Throw on Darius from Resident Evil 6. Down below, Killian is shown to have a brand new mode on his Evil Ray, a large charge of yellow in which blasts Darius back quite far into, a crane. Before the fight could continue once more, Killian knocks him out and messages Shade's brother, which I guess we just call him Shade's brother. Does he even have a canon name? I guess it doesn't really matter. To prepare the interrogation room. That's really it. Okay, well, we're done with episode 4. I wanted to try a different approach for episode-by-episode breakdowns, with the recap being extremely cut down in detail and such, as I said at the beginning. I actually liked it since it was quick and it let me get to the fun part of the video, breaking down the episode. I covered here more than I did for the previous breakdown since there was a lot more time to cover in. With that said, I hope you enjoyed, and, said in the description, I'm sure people don't actually read. If you have any ideas or theories yourself, please share it by Discord or the comments below. Alright. Can't wait to do episode 5, Safety Off, which not much happens as it's kind of a break in, when the preparation when the real shit hits in episode 6. I do have more news regarding the breakdowns, but I'll leave that to be its own little short video soon after this video's release. Okay, goodbye. Bitch. It's been a long time since I've done the Shade voice.